we had this kind of crazy, tumultuous relationship, and that ended in like a bang, let's say.
Really seriously, I mean, this was like the inauguration of the like celebrity couple era. You and Ben Affleck.
Okay.
Benifer.
Right.
People weren't combining names like that before.
No, that was new.
Coming up.
She was crying a lot. She was a mess. Probably what was going through her mind is her career flashing before her eyes.
I just kind of hit the wall and was just like, I can't do this anymore.
Well, it looks like Jenny from the block is finally ready to open up about her experiences with the Diddler. And if you don't know what we're talking about here, it's none other than Jennifer Lopez and Diddy. JLo has been facing some criticism recently because since Cassie's lawsuit dropped, she hasn't said or done anything publicly to show support for Cassie or any of the other alleged victims, which you would expect since she also dated Diddy at some point. However, word on the street is that the reason why JLo didn't say anything this whole time is that she's been dealing with her own battle scars from her relationship with Diddy. Allegedly, Diddy used to put hands on her and force her to have relations with other men, the same way he did with Cassie. But what's crazy is that this seems to be the pattern with all of Diddy's past relationships. Child, this man has been out here doing the devil's work, and people are starting to connect the dots. From Kim to Missa to Cassie and now JLo, it's the same script. Y'all better get comfortable because we're gonna break this down in a minute. So, Jennifer Lopez has been dragged for filth online recently because of her involvement with Diddy and all that Jenny from the block shtick that flopped real bad. To many people, it seemed like JLo was trying to cover up for Diddy because she didn't say anything to support Cassie or any of the other alleged victims who came forward with their stories of how Diddy victimized them. The fact that the feds announced that they were reopening the 1999 club shooting involving JLo and Diddy also doesn't help JLo's case at all. However, it looks like there might have been a good reason for JLo to maintain her silence all this while. See, Diddy has been facing serious backlash since the video of him violating Cassie went viral, and he dropped that weak apology talking about he was disgusted then and he's disgusted now. Obviously, nobody was feeling that apology because it looks like Diddy was apologizing for getting caught, not for what he did. I mean, soon after Cassie dropped her lawsuit, Diddy made a statement denying everything and calling Cassie a liar. In his words, enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear, I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I'll fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. Sean Diddy Combs. Please, that doesn't sound like someone who's feeling any sort of remorse or disgust. And it didn't take long for people to start digging up his past relationships and discovering a sickening pattern in all of them. What's even crazy is that, as it turns out, JLo wasn't the only exception to this pattern. Word on the street is that she also went through the same things Cassie and Diddy's other exes went through. See, JLo has never really been open about her relationship with Diddy. Every time she's asked about it, she kind of seems like she's trying to not accidentally spill something that might put a target on her back.
It was crazy. The Puffy era was just kind of like a crazy heightened time in my life. You know, Puffy and I were like, both grew up in the Bronx. He had been in the music business and had all the success. I was just starting and making my first album when I met him. He became kind of a mentor to me in that moment. We had this kind of crazy, tumultuous relationship, and that ended in like a bang, let's say. And
almost literally.
Yeah, and it was definitely a moment, but I felt like it was necessary. Like, he was meant to be in my life at that moment to teach me what I needed to know about the music business, about what kind of artist I wanted to be in the music industry.
However, she did once spill the tea on how Diddy used to be unfaithful to her and how that was the first time she really experienced what it was like to get cheated on. In a 2003 interview with Vibe magazine, JLo said, "It was the first time that I was seeing someone who wasn't faithful. I was in the relationship with Puff where I was totally crying, crazy and going nuts. It really took my whole life in a tailspin." Then she added, "I can't remember right now, but I won't say it didn't happen. I never caught him, but I just knew. He'd say he was going to a club for a couple of hours and then never come back that night." And it looks like people around Diddy also knew that he used to be unfaithful to JLo. His former bodyguard Jen Deal once spilled the tea on how Diddy had been cheating on JLo, and on one occasion he was hooking up with another girl right after attending a special party JLo threw for him.
Jennifer had just gave him this hell of a day. I mean, like, we went to the Miami Hurricanes game was it? Yeah, we went to Miami State Hurricane. We was on the field while they were playing and stuff. And he gave him a party at 321 in Miami. She rented a club, gave him a party, gave him this big backyard party, dinner and everything like that. Then gave him a party at the club. And then we came back. One of his, what's his name? Slam had set it up because Jennifer went upstairs. And Puff said, yo, Gene, watch the door. Don't let nobody come through the door. And I said, all right. And Slam set it up. And I wanted to say it was Korean, but I'm not sure it was her. But it was supposed to be somebody that was either up to her level in fellatios, or it was her. I'm not sure. And while Jennifer was upstairs, he was down there getting a fellatio from her.
What's even crazier is that, according to Gene, Diddy was cheating on JLo with Kim Porter. And even when Kim was the side chick, he was still very possessive and obsessive about her. According to Gene, Diddy used to pay Kim's babysitter at the time to monitor her and report her every move to him.
You said that Diddy, when he was with Jennifer Lopez, he was still seeing Kim Porter?
Yeah. Kim couldn't go nowhere. Kim couldn't go nowhere, bro. Kim couldn't have no relationships. Kim couldn't be at no club. If he called Kim's house, and at this time she had this little Spanish looking girl, and she might have a case. She might have a case. It was Christian babysitter. She might get in touch with a lawyer. Whew. That's all I'm gonna say on that one.
His babysitter, what's the deal with that? What you mean by that?
Kim had a babysitter that Puff had in his pocket, whereas that she would tell everything Kim was doing, every place Kim was going, and I would catch her over at Puff House in the morning.
Ironically, Diddy also started cheating on Kim Porter with Cassie before he and Kim officially broke things off in 2007. One of Kim's friends named Carla Booth recently went viral after sharing some of the horrible things she witnessed Diddy doing to Kim while they were together. According to her, Diddy used to flaunt Cassie in Kim's face to put her down. What y'all saw in that video of Diddy beating Cassie was nothing. We'll never forget the time he tried to make Kim Porter lick Cassie's tampon, always using Kim's race as a put down. Oh, what? How twisted do you have to be to make your baby mama lick your mistress's tampon? In another post, Carla said, y'all would not even begin to believe the way he treated Kim Porter. And ironically, Cassie back then allowed herself to be used to disrespect Kim in her own home. Cassie let herself be flaunted in Kim's face, laughed at Diddy beating Kim, was awful. And not surprisingly, Diddy also did the same thing to Cassie when they started dating. In 2019, a woman named Virginia V did an interview with Tasha K, where she revealed that she was Diddy's side piece while he was dating Cassie. According to her, Diddy was nice to her for the first few months, love bombing her probably, but he allegedly completely switched up on her after the honeymoon period, and he started getting physical with her. Now, in Cassie's lawsuit, she claimed that Diddy used to make her hold his firearm in her purse, which clearly terrified her because she had no experience with firearms. It looks like JLo might have also had the same experience with Diddy. Rumors have been swirling around that JLo was allegedly Diddy's gun mule for the 1999 club shooting, where a few people got injured. The rumor started after Lil Rod mentioned it in his lawsuit. According to court documents, Diddy bragged to Lil Rod about he was responsible for the shooting, and his girlfriend at the time, JLo, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual. Now, according to sources online, JLo and Diddy were handcuffed at the station before the mugshots were taken. Allegedly, JLo was crying buckets the whole time, and then her mother came into the station and was shouting in Spanish, saying, "I warned you not to get involved with that man." JLo ultimately didn't get charged in relation to that incident, but that was only because Diddy found someone else to take the fall. This turned out to be rapper Shine, whose album they were in the club to celebrate. Diddy had earlier tried to bribe his driver that night into claiming the gun, but when that didn't work, he had to use Shine, and if Shine hadn't worked out, well, he could have very well made JLo take the fall for it.
If he would have did that to her, he would only had one time. You see, when he ran out the club and left her after that shooting at China, she ain't want to be with him no more. Yo, he left her. You know what I mean?
One interesting fact that came out of the whole incident was that JLo's mother did not like Diddy at all. In fact, she wasn't on board with the relationship. Now, she could have had her own reasons for not wanting JLo to be involved with Diddy, but typically, mothers don't want their daughters to be involved with men who don't treat them right, whether through physical, financial, or emotional abuse. Also, keep in mind that, like many of Diddy's relationships, JLo was in a position where she needed Diddy more than he needed her, at least career-wise. JLo's career was just taking off, while Diddy was already an established music executive. Allegedly, Diddy even used to steal other people's music for JLo to record.
JLo and I came out around the same time when her first album came out. And Rodney Jerkins actually came and wrote this wonderful song for me called If I Gave Love. And you know, the Jennifer Lopez song was If You Had My Love. He wrote the same song for her. I heard that it was because Puff Daddy walked in and heard my song and said, I want that song. And he was like, yeah, well, that's already taken. You know, we wrote that for Shantae and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, I want that song. So Rodney wrote really the same song. Honestly, if you hear my song, it's the same song.
Obviously, JLo made her own choices that got her into a relationship with Diddy, and she might have also been trying to use a relationship to advance her career. However, when it comes to Diddy, that sort of power imbalance was like a trip for him, and he used it to keep his girlfriends under control. Now, although Diddy and JLo's relationship dates back to the late 90s and early 2000s, it looks like Diddy's antics didn't start with her either. When Cassie's video dropped, Diddy's ex, Missa Hilton, made a statement offering her support. I am heartbroken that Cassie must relive the horror of her abuse, and my heart goes out to her. I know exactly how she feels, and through my empathy, it has triggered my own trauma. Missa has tried to avoid talking about Diddy in the past, and she mostly keeps out of the spotlight. But for her to say she empathizes with Cassie to a point of reliving her own trauma, child, who knows what Diddy put her through, especially at a time when social media wasn't really a thing.
He beat that woman till she was crawling up under a car, man. No matter how small she was crawling up under the car, man. You got to be real scared, man. That's crazy. I know it ain't funny, but it's crazy. He was beating her till she ran up under the car, man.
But it gets even worse. You know how Diddy allegedly used to make Cassie be with other men for his own pleasure? Well, word on the street is that he used to do the same to JLo. Not only that, but he allegedly used to be so possessive over her that he didn't want anyone near her that he didn't approve of, and he would get violent if he felt like she was talking to someone else. Like that one time he allegedly wanted to throw hands with Will Smith and Jada Smith because he thought they were trying to scoop JLo.
And he said to me, he said, yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up Jennifer. I want you to stay close, because I'm a snuffer.
Yikes, again, that's the same thing Cassie reported in her lawsuit. He allegedly blew up Kid Cudi's car after he and Cassie briefly dated. Another time, he spotted Cassie talking to another manager who she felt could help further her career, and he allegedly went off the rails. Oh, child, we can't even begin to fully unpack all the ways Diddy's past relationships have been similar, and in the worst way possible. But do y'all think JLo should have spoken up sooner, or is it better that she tried to protect herself? Sound off in the comments below, and you better not miss out on this next video.